You caught me in the middle of lunch, but move this over there. You got the milk tea. Oh yes, this is gonna be wonderful. Tested my water out today. I use API. That's the simplest thing to use right now. My first test kit was the API water, saltwater tester, and got pretty good at it. Usually I don't need to really test for everything. When you start off, you're like super paranoid about, oh, my parameters and all that, but it really doesn't matter. Then I bought a couple of other ones like calcium, which definitely you need. I think the only ones you really need is a high range pH, which you really need to know your pH has to be at least 8.2, 8.4. Sometimes I've had it 8.8, and to get your pH up, you just throw some baking soda in there. But don't do too much or you may shock your fish, depending on what type of fish you have. My tomato clown is like super hardcore. He's been through it all and survived. Most fish die. Okay, so then ammonia. I really never test for ammonia unless you're just like throwing all types of food in there and things are dying. In the beginning, I needed to check ammonia, which you see right here. But like really there's no need for it. I really don't check it unless when I did my experiment with the water and threw all that food in there, and that ammonia was super high, but you don't really need that. And then this is well, I lost my slip for the saltwater, but the freshwater thing is pretty much the same. It's pretty much like no phosphates in there, period. That thing is like super nice because of the Chaeto. I grow Chaeto all day long. This thing grows like crazy. Put some copepods in there and bam, you don't really have to test for anything. Like with nitrite and nitrates, never ever and phosphate, never ever. If you have a lot of macroalgae inside your sump or refugium, you really don't have to test for these. Like, you never have to buy them because you can kind of eye it. You know, if you've been in the game of the aquarium life for a while, you really don't have to test it. And then, but calcium, yes, because you really can't see calcium, especially if you have a lot of invertebrates and other coral that need calcium. But calcium and magnesium is a whole different game. The things I do use, I just started using Kent's essential elements, and not that much of it. I just started, so not a good review on it yet. I also use Kent strontium and molybdenum, whatever, however you pronounce that. People know what it is. Bam. I could do like 8 drops a week or so. I really can't test for it, but I just dose a little bit because I know that's part of an essential element. Boom. This stuff right here, bam. The Reef Plus concentrated vitamin and amino acid supplement. When I first put it in, oh my, like my corals were like, especially the Duncan, he was just so open and everything. And I think this is a good product because if you want to see like your corals is like pretty much Hulk on you, not Bruce Banner, but Hulk, then they'll get buff. Iodide. Ooh, this is a hard one. It's still pretty full. I've had this since I've had my aquarium. I don't dose too much of it because the saying is if you can't test it, don't cut off there. But as I was saying, I don't dose too much of it because I've had in the past when I was first beginning saltwater, and you can tell the fish and the vertebrates start like going on like junkie mode. They start moving real quick, and I'm like, oh man, you can tell it did something to the water. They just kind of panic and start tripping out. It's pretty crazy if you don't kill your fish and your hermit crabs. Bam! Now this was hard to find. I couldn't find it in local fish stores, not even Petco. Not in my area, Los Angeles. But iron and magnesium is a must if you have macroalgae, or you're trying to buff it up. Not Bruce Banner, but Hulk. Trying to Hulk this stuff, especially if you're selling macroalgae or anything. The problem I have is it's selling too fast, but it's not growing fast enough. So yeah, you have to kind of put those nutrients in there. And nutrients are not the only thing that gets macroalgae to grow. You know, trimming is something, lighting is something. It's just all not about like putting too much chemicals in there, because if your sump is connected to your aquarium, then you're putting too much stuff in there, and then bam, everything's dying. So I wouldn't recommend that. But this is a good product. Used it a couple of days. Seen a little bit of color to it, not too much growth, but in a month's time I'll kind of make another review just on this product right here, because you really I didn't really see too many reviews on it. But mostly I use a lot of Kent stuff, or just the reef stuff. This is what I buy. So yeah, I'll make another video off everything else, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.